Celebrating his victory, Arun lifted his chants in the middle of the crowded hall, cheers exploding around him like firecrackers shredding the night. Hishard won business deal, the culmination of years filled with failures, sleepless nights, relentless determination, had finally closed. The cameras flashed in his face, reporters shouted questions, and friends clapped his on back, but Arun felt only the swelling warmth of victory in his chest. His future blazing brightly, luxury, security, and a partner who had walked with him through storm after storm. Hesmold, thinking of Mira, his wife, the woman who had shared his dreams 7 when they were broke beyond words. But celebration is often short-lived. After the final announcement and the crowd's gradual dissolution, Arun stepped into the quiet office. He pulled out this phone. Torichudo Mira, Tasher rejoiced with the one soul who had breathed hope into his lungs when he had collapsed time and time again. He messaged her, done. Where made? Then heckled, Shedid didn't answer. Her text came instead, when he'd talk. Arun's smile faltered. The 3 words, the eternal signal of the earth tilting. He drove home soon after, speeding past city lights as if they could offer a solution. Here Hersterward sign his mint, trying to interpret their enigma. Was it something with the company? Her health, their marriage, but nothing prepared him for the scene that awaited him. He found Mira in the study, standing beside the mahogany desk, the lamplit softly against their face. Her expression was not angry, not tearful, but coldly resolved, as someone who had already burned a bridge and watched the embers settle. Arun, she said quietly, I'm taking my share. Your share. Arun laughed nervously. Share of what? We haven't separated anything yet. Murray took a breath, steady and unwavering. I've taken it. Allofit. The words sliced through him faster than the cold wind that seeped under the door. What do you mean? Taken. His hands shook. Mira, what did you do? She slid a folder across the desk. He snatched it open, and the ground beneath him crumbled. Accounts closed. Transfers completed. Properties reassigned. Contracts nullified. In a reckless moment of trust months ago, Arun had granted Mira access to every account, every backup fund, every asset. He never imagined, never, even in a darkest of their rushed arguments, that she's would use seat against. I am. Why? Arun whispered, voice cracking like old paint. Why would you do this? Mira looked away, fingers curling into tight fists. I couldn't live in your shadow any longer. When we started, I was with you because I believed in who you were. Button, you changed. You were never home. You never looked at me, the person who stood beside you. I became a convenience, not a companion. Thought that's untrue, Arun stammered. You know I know you worked hard, Murray interrupted, but you never saw how much I held us together. You never noticed how I struggled, night after day, to make our life survivable, and when you finally rose, you didn't look back. Had something been so difficult for you? Arun murmured, you could have spoken, we could have fixed. It's too late, she said, cutting him down. I've left. And I'm not coming back. You left. Arun's voice echoed in the mute silence. Left for a life of meow. Mira snapped, and her face stayed impassive even though her hands betrayed her, shaking as if her heart were in a longer ascoldasher decision. It's stone. I've taken everything that way severe in my name, Andy Overs, tacking what you say to deserve if I ever think succeeded. Arun's mint spun. The word she'd said so casually in the past if we make it big, you'll deserve half of this, now came back like a death sentence. But, you took all of it, he said brokenly. You'll recover, Mira said, you thrive when you're cornered. You always shave, but I deserve this. I need this. Then, she walked past him, leaving him an shadow that felt heavier enough crushed stone. When Arun could finally move, he rushed to the computers, desperately opening account after account. Each owner reflected nothingness, empty echoes, voids where his future used to be. Hesither, shoulders slumped, feel a sense of powerlessness he hadn't experienced since he was a young man wandering city streets with a dream and no money for one meal. Mira was gone, his fortune along with her. Onda, once a victor, was no woman standing in the ruins of what the thought was a secure life. Night dripped slowly. Arun stood up, eventually. He felt numb, the end furious, then sick, then utterly blank. It would be easy, so cruelly easy, to let the devastation eat him alive, Tallis himself in the pain of betrayal. But deep in the core of his being, something will began to stir. Something he had buried beneath success and comfort, the fierce fire that once kept him alive through starvation and failure. He had rebuilt from nothing before. He could do it again. But first, he wanted answers. Where had Mira gone? What had she done with the money? And why chose violent silence rather than a conversation? In the following days, Arun began a painful but clear-eyed investigation. He tracked down lawyers, accountants, old friends. Most doors closed in intimidated silence. Some opened reluctantly with half-truths. One friend mumbled about a communication Mira had with a secretive investment partner. Another hinted at her parents' old country house behind Gopdion for her hideaway. Yet none knew the full story. These days were brutal. His name, once glittering among business circles, nochoed with scandal. Hema said meals. He couldn't sleep. He fell into routine so for survival. But within that struggle, he grew sharp again. He became willing to do difficult things. Again. Then, one midnight, while he was poring over documents in the cold hush of his empty home, now used stenser than sanctuary, he found it. Transfer records to an account registered under an unfamiliar company name, but a company's legal owner. Mira Parekh. Not Mira Rao, her maiden identity. It wasn't just emotional separation. She had planned her liberation long before the scale of the devilry of his victory. Why did you pretend to stand with me? Arun muttered to the empty room, when you were building a wall between the both of us. Answer didn't come, but determination did. Days turned into weeks. Arun filed legal petitions, spoke with detectives, chased leads. Eventually one trace narrowed to the old coastal region where Shion grew up. A quiet village by the sea, they smell of salt spray and the distant cawing of gulls. Arun drove hours, numb fingers wrapped around the worn steering wheel. He wasn't coming to confront her with anger. He was coming to understand. And to take something back. Not money, but truth. The only thing that had been stolen along with his fortune. He found her at the house, a quaint structure with peeling paint and windows fogged from the restless sea breeze. She wasn't the porch, sitting with a book, eyes tired but serene. She looked up as the care approached, but she didn't look surprised. You found me, she said quietly. You did that well, Arun replied. She almost smiled. It didn't want to. Arun took a step closer. It deserved the truth, Mira. She sighed and closed her book. Come inside. The house smelled of old wood and memories, but it was empty of personal belongings. Had Mira been living like this? Absence of luxury, no glittering escape. Just silence and self-imposed exile. She gestured for him to sit. Her hands were calmer now, but her face held layers of tiredness. I never mean to steal your future, Mira said. I just didn't want to set the pieces off myself I had left. I wanted to walk away before I broke completely. You cold Hava talked, Arun whispered. You cold Hava listened, Mira countered softly. Silence hung between like salted mist. Finally, she continued, I thought taking the Monu factually put me down a path where I could start fresh. I thought he'd feel stronger. But, it didn't. I just felt guilty. Every day. Arun saw it now. The pain in her eyes, the cracks in her confidence, the unspoken regret that shadowed each breath. Then why keep it? Hissed. Mira looked down at her hands. Because I was ashamed. I was afraid that if you found me, you'd seem like a monster. And I didn't know how to face you after choosing this. Arun leaned back, anger draining, leaving a che that felt ancient. Mira, you were wrong. But you were in a monster. You were lost. And maybe I had lost you. She closed her eyes, tears finally escaping. I never wanted your ruin. I know, Arun said. After a long moment, he stood. Keep what you need. Butters, return it at your own pace. I'm a vegan. Your choice won't hold me hostage any longer. Mira opened her eyes slowly. You are letting go. Arun exhaled. Victory isn't final. Defeat isn't fatal. What I choose from here on, that's what defines me. Hetcher Ned to leave. Arun, Mira said softly, I'm sorry. He didn't turn back. Someday, you'll hell too. He stepped into the salt winds, the ocean roaring in his ears, each wave crashing like an ending becoming a beginning. He had lost fortune, love, and certainty. But regained himself. And that, he discovered, was a victory greater than any celebration.